Hello, friends, and welcome back to Stories About Entitled People. There's no limit to the stupidity of some people, so let's start with a story like this. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here and turn on notifications so you don't miss a new video every single day. Here we go. Wait, 50% off isn't the same thing as half off? So a little backstory. I work at a certain former limited brand store that happened to run a store-wide 50% off sale during the week of Christmas. Needless to say, holidays plus 50% off sale equals absolute chaos. We usually run our store with one manager, or CSL, customer sales lead, and one associate during non-peak, slow times. So during peak, busy, holiday madness time, we only had 4 people on the floor at a time, which really means that the 3 associates ring for their entire shift, and the CSL, me, runs around like an insane person, trying to greet everyone as they come in, tell everyone the promo because customers can't read the 5,000 bright red signs we have posted, get people in the fits, move go-backs from the fits, and keep people from shoving our fragrance in their pockets. Fun. So what I'm getting at is that I don't have time to stay stationary. I got crap to do. So I'm running around all cray, regretting my decision to work retail for the 1,364,349th time that day when this woman just starts screaming, legit screaming. I haven't even spoken to this crazy bee yet, she's just screaming. So I keep my customer service smile, but I know it's not quite hiding my WTF eyes, and I politely and cheerfully ask if there's anything I can help her with, because, you know, customers wail like banshees when they need assistance. She proceeds to point at me accusatorily and tell me that I should be ashamed of myself for ripping everyone off. Wait, what? I maintain my pasted-on smile and ask her what she means by that, and she replies, I crap you not, you're ripping people off by giving them 50% off instead of half off. LOL. Okay, so 1, she's not crazy, she's an effing idiot. 2, I don't create the prices, I don't control the sales. I push you in a fitting room and tell you that god-awful baby doll dress looks cute on you, and of course you don't look 7 months pregnant. But you do. Whatevs. I politely explain that 50% off and half off are the same thing. She refuses to believe that. Clearly she never took basic math. I literally have to tell her 50% off of 10 is 5. 5 is half of 10. Half of 10 is 5. And 5 is 50% of 10, so half off of 10 would be 5, and 50% off of 10 would be 5. I then blank stared her. I still don't know if she believed me, or if she went home and Googled percentages, but she left, so there's that. And our second story. He wanted to be paid to take days off. I work in an office, and this happened a few days before Christmas break started. As parents, and even just as young working adults, we all want to get our Christmas vacation time to relax. My company gives everyone a bonus 3 vacation days every Christmas holiday on top of the 3 weeks we get per year. There are 3 characters, me, my boss, and my coworker, who I'll call CB. So CB is the type of guy who doesn't care much about anything except money. He constantly is asking for raises, even though his work is crap, never brings any food to the party when we host special occasions, takes more than his share when coworkers bring in snacks and goodies, that kind of person. Another thing is that he was always taking days off. He blew all of his 3 weeks worth of vacation days back in February, and nowadays when he takes days off, he just doesn't get paid. This still makes me angry, especially when he comes back to a lot of work needing to be done. This Christmas holiday, CB got especially snotty about Christmas vacations. He constantly talked to my boss about the Christmas vacations and asked everyone else what they were going to do on theirs. Not really against the rules, but was a little uncomfortable. So one day I was walking to the little kitchen we've got in our office, and I walked past my boss's office and I heard, I don't want 3 days off. I want all the days off. It was CB's voice. I knew he was probably chewing my boss out for more vacation days, and it wasn't really my business, so I just walked off. Well, a few hours later, it was everyone's business. CB kept walking up to people and complaining about his vacations. Everyone else had saved their vacation days, especially for this time of year, and when CB heard they had enough to take the entire week off, he didn't care that they'd saved their vacation days. He marched to my boss's office and started demanding more vacation days. I think in the end, my boss just told him, take the days off if you want, because the office was a lot quieter after that. Fast forward this Monday. So CB came back to work after leaving the office for 2 weeks, and he looked really mad. I knew that my boss had emailed everyone their paychecks over the holidays, so I was guessing it had something to do with that. My boss's office is just a few doors down, and if you yell, everyone can hear you, which is why the entire office heard their conversation. It went like this. CB: dude, you owe me money. I'm going to sue you for not paying me. Boss: I already mailed you your check. You mailed me half. You're trying to stiff me. I paid you everything for all the time you've worked. No, I calculated it all, and it's missing roughly 4 months of pay. Since you took the days off, I didn't pay you for the holiday season. I paid you half for every single day you took off, and I wasn't supposed to do that. You actually got an extra week of paid vacation. That's privilege. Well, it's not enough. That extra 4 months had better be in my account by next week, or I'm reporting you. What happened next was something pretty shocking. By now, everyone's heads were poking out of their offices, listening in, and who could blame them? To everyone's surprise, my boss didn't fire the guy. He just said, I don't owe you money for the time you haven't worked. If you want, I'll take out the extra week's pay. CB stormed out of my boss's office, ignored everyone watching him, and left. I haven't seen him since, and I'm not sure if he's taking more vacations or finding a new job. My boss said he hadn't officially quit, but we're still waiting to see. Edit. Today, CB came back to the office looking pleased with himself. I was headed to the washroom, and he stopped and grabbed my hand and said, guess who's here to pick up his 4-month paycheck? Really smugly. I knew my boss had something up his sleeve, or honestly he better have, so I forgot all about the washroom and went back to my office and pretended to do work. The conversation between my boss and CB was pretty long. Long story short, it started out friendly. 4 minutes into the convo, CB asked for paycheck, and my boss says, you had some nerve coming over here asking for that paycheck. You want vacations? You'll get vacations. You can leave now. Go wherever you want. I don't care. You're fired. Honestly, the look on the guy's face was priceless. And our last story. Entitled Grandma tries to sue widow for our house. So this is back when I was about 4, and my grandma from my mother's side told me, she's a saint and I love her. Basically, I was born and lived in Russia until I was 8, then we moved to Canada. Now the only thing that's relevant to us being in Russia was that housing was more affordable than in Canada, and since my mom ran 2 businesses, a kid's toy store and a travel agency, and my dad ran a building company, we owned a pretty sizable home. Now, they never spoiled us since they both grew up in poor households and didn't want us to become brats. Their philosophy was always get good grades, then your grades will work for you. Basically, we got to study well, and then we would earn well. Now, this comes to the second part of the story. When I was 4, my dad gave me some meaningless task, watering the lawn, I think just to get me to stop asking him questions. We had an NFC tag thingy that opens our gate, kind of like in an apartment building for the main door, that hasn't worked in 2 years, and he decided to fix it. Turns out that the guy who did the wiring in our house messed up a breaker thing where it was completely broken, so when he shut off the breaker, it did nothing. My father then got shocked through his arm and through his heart, causing it to stop while working on the wiring, and by the time I went to ask him a question, I saw him on the ground and called my mom, who was at work. She called the ambulance and rushed home, but the paramedics said that he was out with no pulse for 20 minutes and they couldn't start his heart again. EG is entitled Grandma, Mom is Mom/widow, G is my good grandma, OP is me. Mom: oh good, EG, you're here. Sarcastically, she made my mom cry a lot, even yelling at her on wedding day, to the point where my dad/her son would outright kick her out and not let her near us for 2 full years. EG: I came as soon as I heard. Lies. My mom called right after calling 911 and telling us to stay with our family friends, and she came 3 days later during the burial. OP: hey EG, nice to see you. I didn't know she was a B. I was 4. EG: hey buddy, go to your brother. I need to talk to your mommy. EG: so what's the takeaway? M and G: what do you mean the takeaway? EG: don't play dumb. You see the clothes you and my son wore. I see the cars. I've been to your house. I know he was rich. What did he leave me? This was all happening while they were getting ready to close the casket. She was the last to arrive and didn't even want to see her son. M. Seriously, WTF is wrong with you? Your son died and all you care about is his cash? G. Okay, let's get away from here. Go to your children. G. I swear to God, EG, you should have never showed up. A few days later, we get a call from her. EG. Hey, so I see my son left everything to M and your kids, but I think this is a typo. He left both his part of the house and you guys' old apartment to G. M. I'll only talk to you through a lawyer. FU hangs up. G. I'll just give you my half of the house to make it easier for you and the kids if you want to sell it later on. The next day, we get a court letter 3 days after my dad's burial. Great. EG is contesting the will and trying to steal our house. Effing terrific. Now, my mom's childhood and current best friend turned out to be a lawyer, and since she knew what happened and was at the funeral, she offered to help free of charge. My mom goes to court and obviously wins because marriage and the will and EG's case was horrible. She basically put on a fake grieving face and said that due to the loss of her son, she'd like to live closer to where he was buried and she should get the entire house, even my mom's part because she lost her son. Didn't even say goodbye at the funeral, just left after my grandma called her out on her BS. EG. I'm sorry about the court, but can I please move in to be closer to the grandchildren? M. Who TF do you think you are to sue me 3 days after I had to bury my husband? Get the F out. I never want to see you again. EG doesn't want to leave, but since she's on our property, past the gate, but not in the house, we just called the cops and had her escorted. G ended up moving in to help my mom since she was managing 2 businesses and getting home at like 9. Now, my mom forgave EG and lets her see me and my brother, but my grandma never did, and she told me this and many more stories about my wonderful EG today, and I'd love to share them. Good story. Screw that stupid grandma. Also, rest in peace to your father. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.